Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be going over how to beat Speedy Balloon with 2.6 Hog. So Speedy Balloon, in case you didn't know, is a deck where they have Skeleton Barrel and Balloon. And usually in these decks, our opponent will try to play the Skeleton Barrel behind the Balloon so that it pushes the Balloon and it goes faster. Right, since Skeleton Barrel is faster than Balloon, so they'll try to push the Balloon so it goes faster. So this matchup is actually quite straightforward for 2.6 Hog because Skeleton Barrel doesn't really do anything, and I'll explain how to win in this matchup in just a second. But first of all, right, let's talk about what this deck usually, what our opponent usually has in this deck. And usually they'll have some sort of like building and some sort of big spell. So in this case they have Lightning, and they also have Tesla. Now these cards are usually on their own pretty good counters for Hog Rider, but because their deck is usually more expensive since they have Speedy Balloon, then we can usually just outcycle their building pretty easily. And you'll see how I do that in this game. Now first of all, right, we just have to defend this knight pretty simply. Just play Ice Golem, kite it to the other side. And I still don't know what my opponent has, so I'm just going to go in with Hog Rider because why not? And now he has Tesla, so I'm like, okay, this is probably some Speedy Balloon type of deck. And you'll notice how this Executioner is not really that good against my Hog Rider unless it's like Evo Executioner. So what you want to do if they have Evo Executioner is you want to wait until they don't have their Evo Executioner, and then you can go in with Hog Rider, because then the Executioner is basically useless against Hog Rider, right? It doesn't push it back and doesn't really do that much damage anyway. Now, a common problem in this matchup is players usually don't know when to play their cannon. Like they think, okay, if they play Skeleton Barrel and I play cannon, then won't I just waste my cannon? Like what if they go with Balloon next and I don't have my cannon? What do? Well, the good news is that Balloon can be countered by Musketeer and Ice Spirit, so you don't actually have to worry. Like for example here, right, especially since I have Evo Musketeer, right, I can just play Evo Musketeer and that counters the entire Balloon. I didn't have to do anything else. So, and even if I didn't have Evo Musketeer, I can still just play Musketeer like on this tile and then probably Ice Spirit to stop it from getting hit. So it's actually not that scary if you break it down, right? Your cannon is not the only thing that can counter the Balloon. So don't be afraid to just play your cannon for the Skeleton Barrel, and you can just go in the other side as they play Balloon if you have Evo Musketeer, just like I did. And even though he has Evo Executioner, I still went in because I tried to make the Hero Ice Golem sort of distract, but the Hog Rider went in front, which is fine. And you can see Evo Executioner, even by itself, it's pretty easy to defend. I can just play Ice Spirit and then Skeletons, and well, I do take one hit, but it's fine. And I go in here because I know he doesn't have Evo Tesla, right? Because I'm counting the cycle. I'm pretty sure Evo Tesla is 2 cycles before it goes to Evo, so I can just go in with Ice Golem Hog Rider. And you can see in this deck, usually they won't have anything good to defend your Hog Rider except for Tesla and Evo Executioner. So because of that, I get 2 Hog Rider hits just like that. And of course all credit goes to Hero Ice Golem. And yeah, just to defend this, just play Musketeer. Now don't be scared if you play Musketeer and your opponent goes Balloon opposite lane, because remember, you can always just kite his Balloon with the cannon. And he actually tried to lightning my cannon, but he missed. And I could have played this cannon actually 1 tile to the left, because that will still kite the Balloon and the Skeleton Barrel. But the one downside is if I play 1 tile to the left, then some of the skeletons that drop from the first barrel of this Evo Skeleton Barrel, they might go to my tile. So that's just the one drawback, potentially. And you can see because it's double elixir, I can just very quickly cycle back to my musketeer. Like remember here I said, okay, don't be scared to play musketeer even though your opponent plays balloon at the bridge or even at the back. Right, that's because I can just quickly cycle to a cannon and then quickly cycle back to my musketeer. So it doesn't actually do anything. And also my opponent kind of messed up because he's supposed to play the skeleton barrel behind the balloon, so it pushes it. I don't know why he didn't do that, but anyway, I just play musketeer and then ice spirit. Right, I don't need to fireball, right? I could have fireballed, but that probably wouldn't have fully counted, and also I would have had to play ice spirit anyway. So it's an even like trade, even defense, even if I play musketeer or fireball. But the benefit of playing musketeer instead of fireball is that you can build up a counter push. So you can see like my musketeer, I can use it for a counter push. If you know his tower's not gone, I can go in with Hog Rider. But yeah, basically my opponent just doesn't know what to do here and he just gives up. But yeah, so this matchup is quite easy for 2.6 Hog. The main thing is you want to like not get confused about when to play your cannon. Like for example here, don't be like, okay, I shouldn't play my cannon because what if they go balloon opposite lane? But it's actually fine because you have your musketeer, and even though it's single elixir, you can still just play your musketeer and then play ice spirit. And if you want to really spice it up, then you can just go in with Hog Rider opposite lane to sort of distract them from like dealing with your musketeer. Like they have to defend your Hog Rider, so they won't have enough elixir for, like, let's say lightning. And the other thing is when they play Tesla, like when you know they have Tesla, it's usually better to put Ice Golem in front of your Hog Rider, right? So don't just go in with Hog Rider by itself because that would literally do nothing. Like if you have the Ice Golem in front and then you play ability, then chances are you're very likely going to get a hit if they don't do anything else. Like even if they play Knight here, for example, my Hog Rider still got 2 hits because of the Hero Ice Golem's freeze, right? Just gave my Hog Rider more time. And the last thing is, if they play balloon at the back, don't be scared to play musketeer opposite lane first and then like try to build a counter push on the other side with your Hog Rider and Ice Golem, because you know that you can always cycle back to your musketeer. Even though they will try to like pressure you, you can always just cycle back to your musketeer and also your cannon as well. And even like, yeah, see, even though they played lightning, which they missed, and they played skeleton barrel, like this balloon still isn't going to get a hit because I have musketeer and ice spirit. So always remember, like, you can cycle back to your musketeer if it's double elixir. If it's triple elixir, then even better. But if it's double elixir, then you can easily just cycle back to your musketeer if they play balloon. So yeah, that's basically the main takeaways for this matchup. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to join my 2.6 Hog community, that's linked in the description below. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.